You're a human being that has no value, nothing. And those people, the one that are controlling all politics and everything, are the one who are directing us. They have the right to decide whether we can live or die, or whether we. I mean, it's too sick for me to understand. Too cruel. Too cruel.
All right. Hey, everybody. Um, I saw this there, when it happened, the 19th, was when Mona Khalili, I hope I'm saying that right, she passed away. She had been injured in an attack by Israel, um, the 6th of June, I believe. Um, but she was, known as, she's a turtle lady. She protected the sea turtle nests and on the beach at her home in Lebanon, in al-Mansuri. I hope I'm saying that right. Um, Mansuri Beach. Um, she spent 25 years of her life protecting the endangered animals, the sea turtles, loggerhead and green sea turtles that nested on a narrow stretch of coast near Tyre. She had lived in the Netherlands previously, uh, to return to Lebanon when she turned her family home into the Orange House, uh, a conservation project and guest house. Um, she would, it says at night on the beach, the first evidence was often a track in the sand. Uh, the beach lies south of Tyre, near the border with Israel, where checkpoints, shelling, and evacuation orders have long shaped daily life. It is also one of Lebanon's important nesting grounds for loggerhead and green sea turtles. The turtles come ashore after dark. They dig, lay cover, and return to the water. Um, it's really dangerous after they lay their eggs because predators will get them. She would put uh, like a metal netting over them to where the predators couldn't get them, but the turtles big enough where they could get out. Uh, so there she is with the turtle. Um, there. See, um, baby turtle. Anyway, she didn't set out to be a conservationist. Uh, she later left Lebanon during the Civil War, and she was a porcelain restorer. And she returned there after the war ended. It says one night while walking near the shore, she heard the sound in the sand and saw a turtle coming up to lay her eggs. She learned the beach was one of the last important nesting places in southern Lebanon. In 2000, after Israel withdrew from the area, after this after this, uh, the occupation from 82 to 2000, uh, they restored the family home, and she even got it as a protected area, labeled as a protected area there, for these turtles, and people from all over the world would come there. Um, there she is with them again, the little babies. She placed metal grids over nests to keep predators out while leaving room for them to escape. Um, her house was hit in 2006 between Israel and Hezbollah, and she lost some of her hearing. they had an unusually high number of deaths that year. Uh, when resorts closed and lights went off during the pandemic, they returned in high numbers. That resort, uh, she talks about that in a video I watched about, it was an ancient site there and they destroyed that site just to build that resort. Anyway, moving on from that, here's the Wikipedia about her, um, and her activism. Um, there. Uh, says her son died when he was 8 years old after being hit by a speedboat while snorkeling. And another video she talks about him. I'll either leave links for that or I'm gonna clip them in here somehow or here. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, um, here is mourners gathered in Beirut to pay respects. They can't bury her either because where she wants to be buried, is occupied by Israel. Um, and what's going on still over there. Uh, she refused to leave in 2024. She was the last one to leave the area then. Uh, they, persuaded her to leave. Um, she held Dutch as well as Lebanese citizenship. I've said that before, I think. Uh, she refused to leave her home again this last time, and she said, "I'm a civilian. I have no weapons. I will shut my door." Uh, it hit her home on June 4th. They said it's not clear where it was intended. It was. Um, that's her, a man that worked with her. Um, there. Um, that Rami, because I can't say his name. I believe that's him. Said Mona was like a symbol of hope, of life, and of resistance in South Lebanon, and probably that's one of the reasons she was killed. They are trying to kill the hope of the Lebanese people. Yeah, it was him. He's a herpetologist. He works with reptiles. Um, and here you can read the transcript there of it or watch the video there. Um, but yeah, they knew exactly who Mona was. They knew, they knew. Um, anyway, even those whose only weapon is compassion, whose only mission is preservation, are not spared, said an observer. Um, see, they knew exactly who Mona was, a Lebanese journalist and professor. I'm not going to try to pronounce her name. Osman said on social media following her death. They knew the bright orange house. They knew it was not a military site, not a command center, not a battlefield position. It was one of the most recognizable symbols of environmental conservation on Lebanon's southern coast, a sanctuary dedicated to protecting endangered sea turtles and preserving life. They knew. Uh, they knew. Uh, said it was not a target. Bullshit. Then why did they strike it? There is no known IDF strike in which she was injured. You know how they cover shit up. Uh, however, strikes were conducted in the area after the IDF issued evacuation warnings. It's not even their country. And here they are telling these people what to do with their own country. Anyway, here's where al-Mansuri is there. And there's the Google Earth of the house right here. Um, this is from 2025. Don't look like that now. Uh, so anyway, and here is the history of Israeli occupation of southern Lebanon. It's from 1982. It goes back farther. 1978, the Coastal Road Massacre. Uh, whatever that is. The 38 Israeli citizens by Palestinian militants in the South Lebanon conflict. Uh, it tells about all of it, everything. Operation Grapes of Wrath, where 154 Lebanese civilians were killed. And they withdrawed in 2000 there, it says. Say they're back again. Uh, anyway, there's that. And, let me see. Let me see. Right. And, this, I happened upon this about this, journalist killed. He was an Al Jazeera cameraman who was killed in Gaza. Uh, a long list of journalists killed over there. Uh, says we don't see the type of outrage that we would see if a Western journalist was killed by a country that is not a U.S. ally. It's really a shameful state of affairs. Comment. He also comments on the expansion of Israel's genocidal tactics in Gaza that have now been exported outside of Palestine in places like Lebanon. Here is the Genocide, The War on Truth. It's a new film. Investigates Israel's killing of reporters in Lebanon. They have killed over 260 journalists and media workers in Gaza and Lebanon, 28 in Lebanon since October 7th, 2023. Irish filmmaker Sean Murray investigates Israel's killings of journalists in his new feature documentary, Genocide, The War on Truth. He says the term genocide applies to Israel's military actions because of the explicit nature of the targeting of killing of journalists. Um, and here we go. Casualties of the Gaza war. Uh, Civilians killed in that attack that they let happen. Um, Look at this. All the civilians killed. Um, and a large percentage of them were children. Not surprised there. Um, this number has changed since then. Um, it says about 64,000 to 70,000 as of early October 2025. That's since, don't say since when. I guess since it's been going on over there, uh, in modern times. Or is it since October of 2024? Or 2023, I'm sorry. Anyway. and, and And here's increasing Israeli attacks killing civilians in Lebanon. This is from 25th of November 2025. At least 127 civilians in Lebanon since the ceasefire agreement came into effect on the 27th of November 2024 up until 24 November this year. I'll leave these links below there. Israeli displacement and killings of civilians in Lebanon rages on. This is from June 11th. 34,000 families were forced out of Lebanon's south and Nabatea governorate and 50,000 families out of Beirut's southern suburbs. So look at all the people they're displacing as well. And here is what they're saying now. Trump says, oh, it's updated about Iran. The headline was about Israel. Anyway, They were saying it was crazy for them to include Lebanon and Palestine or Gaza in the peace thing. Anyway, and this here, they will remain. They're going to stay there. They're not got no plans on leaving. Of course, southern Lebanon. There, it's their security zone. Anyway, that's all it says there. To neutralize threats against Israeli soldiers, they got to kill a lot more people. So, anyway, civilians are the ones that getting killed over here, over there. Not, it's not like people think. Anyway, there.
كل شي بهالحياة مثل الكوين له وجهين، كيف ما بتقلبيها فيك تشوفيها. يا ريت كل الناس توصل لوقت تقدر تعيش حلمها. يا ريت الناس بس بتفيق وبتعرف انه الدنيا مش كونكريت، الدنيا مش مصاري، الدنيا مش مظاهر، الدنيا مش كذب، الدنيا غير، الدنيا طبيعة اللي هي كل يوم بتعلمك درس.